You want life, gonna bring you to your knees.
Today we're doing a backbending sequence, which we've been working up to with the other sequences so far. Make sure you're really warmed up to this. You've done some sun salutations for at least half an hour first. Starting lying on your belly with the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows in. Inhale. We're going to come into cobra. So don't want to over bend through the lower back. Just really try to lift the rib cage. Open the heart space. Don't press too much through the hands. From here we're going to move into upward facing dog. So from plank lower to chaturanga and lift into urdhva mukha. Keeping the hands directly below the shoulders. Scooping the tailbone forward and under, protecting the lower back. With an exhalation, roll over the toes, come into downward facing dog. Opening up the lower back, the lumbar spine. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, come all the way down to the floor and bring the arms by the side, preparing for locust. Going to strengthen the lower back now. On an inhalation, we're going to bring the arms and legs up off the floor. So roll the shoulders back, open the heart space. Keeping the big toes together if you can. Inhale, lift the arms higher. And optional, interlock the fingers behind you, keeping the feet together. Making sure you're not squashing the back of the neck. After a few breaths, release the forehead back to the floor. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and breathe. Now we're going to come into Dhanurasana, the bow pose. Bend the knees, grab a hold of the ankles, and on an inhalation, come up. We want to balance on the navel, so you're not too far back onto the pubic bone, not too far forward on the chest. If you like, you can rock back and forth, making a dynamic bow pose. Just make sure you're pulling with the hands, pushing away with the feet, and again, lifting up through the rib cage, the sternum. Rolling the shoulders back, scooping the tailbone under as much as you can. Now we're going to release the hands and bring the arms forward into Superman now, keeping the feet together. And then trying to take one foot at a time, keeping the other arm out in front. You can form a mudra with the fingers, with the free hand here. Breathing. Bring the hands to the floor, tuck the toes under. Come back into chaturanga. Inhale, open into upward facing dog. And exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Breathing here. So back bends require the greatest mental and physical stamina of all postures. If you like, come forward into a transition. Eventually we want to end up on the back. You want to be really careful with back bends that you are warm enough. You don't over bend through the lower back. Always scoop the tailbone under as much as you can. Coming into bridge pose, knees bend. Inhale, lift the pelvis up, arms by the side. And exhale, roll the spine down towards the floor. Inhale, peel the spine up, lift the hips to the sky. And then maybe staying here. Coming through a few more of these cycles. Optional, interlock the hands behind the back, tuck the shoulders under, move the chest towards the chin, but keep the head completely still. The knees mustn't be farther apart than hip width. This is the main thing to remember in this posture, bridge pose. Variation is to bring the heels of the palms to the sacrum, triangular bone that joins the spine to the pelvis, and then slowly walk the feet out away from you, coming into a bridge pose. You don't have to push the balls of the feet towards the floor. When you're ready, step the feet back towards your body and inhale, lift one leg up at a time. And then bring the other knee towards the face before straightening the other leg up and returning the foot to the floor. Keeping the pelvis stable, release the hands and roll the spine one vertebra at a time back to the floor, hugging the knees in close. So this might be enough for you for back bends today. That can be plenty for a lot of people. The next step, if you feel ready for it, is to bring the hands next to the ears and on an inhalation lift the pelvis up, but bring the crown of the head to the floor between the hands. That might be quite strenuous for you, in which case just come down out of that when you're ready. Otherwise, on your next inhalation, you can lift up into the full upward facing bow, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, scooping the tailbone under strongly, lift up through the sternum. Maybe gently rocking back and forward. We're going to try to bring the chest between the shoulders, moving the chest forward, keep the head and neck relaxed. And when you're ready to come down, tuck the chin in and roll the spine all the way back down. Bring the feet together, knees go wide. Palms of the hands to the forehead, third eye. If you want, you can come into another attempt. This time, if you feel ready for it, you can inhale and lift straight up into upward facing bow. More advanced students, bring the feet closer to the hands. A variation, you can inhale and lift one leg up at a time. Still try to move that chest between the arms. Inhale, lifting the other leg up, breathing. Your breathing will quicken, most likely, during these upward bows. You really need to listen to your body. Variation is taking one hand at a time to the inner ankle of each foot. The backbending postures require a lot of courage and adventurousness. They do build exceptional stability and flexibility for all your efforts. When you're ready, slowly lower yourself down to the floor and bring the knees in towards you, gently rocking from side to side. Release the lower back. Returning the feet to the ground. I'm going to come into some twists to neutralize the spine now. Bring the arms to shoulder height. Bring the knees together, and on an exhale, bring the knees over to the left side. Help them to the floor with your hand and look over to your right fingers, neutralizing the whole spine. This is the fastest way to recover from back bends. Opening the chest, allowing the lungs to expand. Bring the knees back to center, and on your next exhalation, twist to the opposite side, keeping the knees together for this variation. Twisting through the whole spine. Inhale, come back to center. Just hug the knees in towards you. Eventually, you're going to rock a few times forward and backward along the spine. Just giving it a gentle massage. And if you like, you can rock around in a circle. Have a bit of fun with it. So twists really enhance the pranic flow around your navel and Manipura chakra. And as I said, they're the best way to come out of back bend.